And that means that states can now criminalize abortions. Before Roe versus Wade, 2/3 of states outlawed abortion, with some making it a criminal offense. The majority opinion in Dobbs says that women do not have much right to privacy when it comes to abortions, and therefore the opinion took no official stance on whether it was okay for states to prosecute women and service providers or people who are privileged to abortion. That will be left up to the state, and the states will be able to criminalize that if they so desire. And obviously, looking state by state, the situation in many states is in flux. There are 27 states where abortion is protected and are likely to stay that way. Abortion-protected states are passing laws to restrict havens for travel from out of state. Many passed laws saying that those agencies will not participate in any investigations, lawsuits, prosecutions, or anything related to abortion reform in Connecticut. State residents will also be allowed to countersue if they are sued for offering help to abortion patients in another state. This is in response to the Texas boundary law, and New York, Illinois, and California are debating similar efforts. Of course, once states begin to grant each other's citizens certain rights, this invites more conflict for the courts to decide. What about comedy between the states? These interstate conflicts could redefine how much sovereignty states have in this federal system. And then there are the trigger laws. 13 states had trigger laws on the books that banned abortion as soon as Roe and Casey were overturned. These 13 states with trigger laws had exceptions to save the life of the pregnant woman, but only 5 of these states have exceptions for rape or incest. And if someone becomes pregnant by a male relative in Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Missouri, North and South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, or Mississippi, they will be forced to give birth. And if someone is raped in those states, they will also be forced to give birth.
In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to naturally control blood sugar and naturally increase insulin sensitivity.
I've never believed that having a tragedy or a tragic situation happen to someone
There are 5 states in those states where abortion is banned, and there are 8 states where abortion is safe. And there are, of course, a huge variety of pro-choice and anti-abortion laws around the country. Different states have different cutoffs. Some are based on viability, others on number of weeks. Some allow sentences to rape and incest, and some do not, and it's only going to get more complicated as states try to ban or allow abortion. But what about these penal heartbeat laws? Until the Dobbs ruling, federal courts had unanimously struck down so-called heartbeat laws that allow abortion after the conviction of penal heartbeat. And that's why states like Ohio, Georgia, South Carolina, and Iowa passed trigger laws with 6-week abortion bans. Legislatures did not repeal those laws, and abortion is banned after the 6th week pregnancy in those states. The Supreme Court decision did not say that states had to allow abortion until week 6, so any of those states are free to pass total bans if they desire to. The Georgia law is currently totally behind abortion. And then, of course, much has been said about potential religious exceptions. Many states have laws on the books that allow pharmacists to use abortion. They have moral objections. The Supreme Court's ever-increasing deference to individual religious liberties, when they see the pharmacists provider claiming the right to focus their services like surgery and pregnancy. And it's unclear how those cases will be treated. It's similarly unclear how the court will treat a religious liberty claim that, based on certain religious beliefs, abortion is mandated in certain circumstances, even in a state that outlawing abortion. We don't know how the court will come down on that. But it's also possible continued jurisprudence from this Supreme Court could answer all of these questions negative and simply outlaw abortion. Constitutional rights currently only attach to people who are already born. The debate in Roe, Casey, and Dobbs was over balancing a woman's right to the state's interests. But anti-abortion activists argue that individual rights should attach to embryos and fetus, sometimes at the point of conception, putting them on grounds as born beings. Now, the theory that unborn lives are potential lives are included in the constitutional concept of persons is not able to develop, and unborn have never been counted in a census, for example. They've also never been persons for witnesses and constitutional rights. However, Justice Alito left the door open to personhood in Dobbs' opinion. In Roe versus Wade, the court said that the unborn have never been recognized in law as persons in a sense. The Casey court said that a woman has a right to abortion up to a point which the fetus could be viable and live outside the mother. And even after that point, there are medical situations where women abortion to save life and allowed. But in the Dobbs' opinion, Justice Alito declined to say exactly when the right should attach to potential life. But he criticized Roe and Casey for attempting to draw that line. However, Alito himself used the same terminology that he used Roe and Casey, that of potential for life, without agreeing with it, which is often a linguistic trick that signals an action. This Supreme Court is already trying to use ground rules by still qualifying as included in the necessary for liberty. It's entirely possible that they might find that liberty interests personal attachments to
wait.
or one.
Republicans got what they wanted.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises, a solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ul'dah.
The same thing would happen in the Democrats. You would be complaining.
Even with the coming
So
of
it's
the
almost
seventh
conservative,
umbral
fucking
era,
conservative.
hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
The ACLU of Arizona and the Center for Reproductive Rights is blocking implementation of this law. We're scheduled to have a hearing on this lawsuit in July. But if the Supreme Court adopted such a definition as being mandated by the Constitution, it would prevent all abortion in all the United States. And that brings us to the potential national provision of abortion pills in the mail. Now, over half of all abortions in the United States are done with medication, which means that they are used by pills. In 2021, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, decided to allow abortion pills to give providers the green light to distribute them by mail. The medication, which is used during the first 10 weeks of pregnancy, is a 2-pill regimen. And the FDA removed the prior guideline requiring the person.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all.
Even if that person is a licensed
For by fire are we reborn.
Sued the state of Mississippi back in May after the state passed a law saying that only a state licensed physician would prescribe medication. First, the state
I feel like that's kind of wasting time than other people. I like that balance.
also required women to take the pills in the presence of a physician. Now, the pharmaceutical company contends that the FDA's regulations for dispensing and prescribing the pill preempt the state's requirements. And generally, a federal agency's regulations have supremacy over state law. However, this is another area where the Supreme Court would be valuable. This Supreme Court is currently scaling back regulatory ability to reinvigorate law delegation doctrine, all of which would have significant effects on the FDA and regulate. And the state is likely to defend such lawsuits by arguing that Congress does not give the FDA explicit authority to regulate or rules unless nothing to override state laws. And then there's interstate travel. Will women be able to travel to other states to get an abortion? Well, Justice Kavanaugh wrote in his concurring opinion that the state cannot ban people from traveling from one state to another to get an abortion. He called that a question and answer. However, that issue wasn't before the court in your dog's case, because opinion doesn't have any legal weight. So is he right? Well, there's actually not a lot of case law on the right to travel between states. During the Dust Bowl years, California tried to ban immigration of people from Oklahoma. At the time, California asserted that mass migration and people stressed the state's budget and created a crisis of health and morals. The states generally have broad police power to regulate health, safety, welfare, and morals of the citizens. But the Supreme Court struck down the law on the basis that it was not a valid exercise of the power of California, and that it imposes an